Listen up. When Hurricane Ian tore through Florida in 2022, it wasn't just the lights that went out. Entire supply chains collapsed overnight. Grocery stores emptied in hours. ATMs stopped working. People were trading bottled water for batteries, not cash. It's a harsh reality. When society breaks down, paper money is worthless. What counts is what you can hold in your hands. That's not a doomsday scenario, it's a warning. And yet, most people are still overlooking the most valuable items in their own homes. Not gold. Not silver. Weird, ordinary products that suddenly become lifelines when chaos hits. In this video, we're revealing 7 strange everyday products that could be worth more than gold when society collapses. Grab them today, because tomorrow they might be impossible to find. Hit subscribe now so you stay ahead while everyone else panics. 1. Stackable plastic storage bins, the silent survival asset. At first glance, stackable plastic storage bins look mundane, just another plastic box sitting in your garage. But when society starts to break down, these bins become one of the most critical tools for anyone serious about staying organized and mobile. You might not think of them as valuable, but that's exactly why they'll become a commodity during chaos. Why? Let's start with food storage. In a long-term crisis, refrigeration can fail, grocery shelves will empty fast, and even your pantry can turn into a battlefield of loose bags and scattered cans. Stackable plastic bins solve that immediately. They keep your dry goods, canned items, and root vegetables organized off the ground and accessible at a glance. Cardboard boxes? They collapse in humidity. Wooden crates? Mold spreads fast. Thin grocery bags? Tear at the slightest pressure. Plastic bins, however, are strong, durable, and designed to hold weight without giving out. Next is transport. Imagine moving hundreds of pounds of supplies quickly, maybe from your basement to your car, or a local farm to your property. Loose jars, bottles, or firewood are awkward and dangerous to carry in bulk. A few sturdy bins with handles change the game. They make one trip do the work of 5, save your back, and minimize losses. Many models even collapse flat for storage when not in use, making them ideal for both home and bug-out situations. Lastly, there's the barter angle. In a real crisis, people won't just need food, they'll need the tools to handle it. A neighbor with rice or canned goods but no way to organize, transport, or protect it will see your bins as more valuable than the food itself. Suddenly, your stackable bins have currency-level worth. And here's the kicker. Most of these bins in the US are imported. Supply chain issues, shipping delays, and rising container costs could make them scarce overnight. When that happens, prices can easily spike from $5 to $20.25 per unit. Don't underestimate these simple plastic boxes. They store, protect, and move your supplies efficiently, and in a collapse, that's more valuable than any coin. 2. Canning jar sealing rings, the tiny tools that preserve your life. Canning jar sealing rings are tiny, cheap, and completely overlooked until disaster strikes. But in any situation where food preservation becomes a matter of survival, these rubber rings are worth more than gold. Without them, your entire home canning system is useless, no matter how many jars or lids you have. Here's the reality. The rubber ring is the part that makes the seal airtight. Skip it, and bacteria, mold, and spoilage set in fast. Your carefully prepped vegetables, fruits, or preserved meats become unsafe. That's not an inconvenience. It's a threat when every meal matters, and grocery stores are empty. In grid-down scenarios or extended supply chain disruptions, home canning isn't just a hobby. It's a lifeline. The problem is these rings wear out. They crack, stretch, and lose elasticity over time. While jars can last decades, the rings have a shelf life. And here's the critical part. Most of these rings are imported, especially from countries like China or Germany. Tariffs, shipping delays, or raw material shortages can cause massive shortages overnight. Remember how mason jar lids vanished in 2020? The same thing can happen with these rings. A simple 0.50 rubber ring can easily jump to $3 or more when panic buying starts. The takeaway is simple. Don't ignore the small stuff. If you rely on canning for your food supply, stockpile extra sealing rings. Even a dozen or two can become essential currency when people realize that jars without rings are useless. It's not the glass that fails, it's the tiny rubber that keeps your family fed. Underestimating these rings is a mistake you'll regret, especially when others are scrambling to find the last few packs on store shelves. 3. Cotton pillowcases, the underrated multi-tool of survival. Unused cotton pillowcases may look like nothing more than extra bedding, but in a crisis, they become one of the most versatile tools you can own. Clean cotton is breathable, absorbent, and highly adaptable, making it a lifeline in ways most people never imagine. First, medical use. In any scenario where hospitals are overwhelmed or inaccessible, sterile materials become critical. A cotton pillowcase can be cut into bandages, slings, gauze wraps, or even temporary tourniquets. Unlike synthetic fabrics, cotton doesn't trap heat or moisture excessively, making it ideal for emergency wound care. It's cheap, lightweight, and incredibly effective, yet most people overlook it because it's just linen. Next, water filtration. While a pillowcase won't make water drinkable on its own, it's perfect for a first-stage filter. Toss in debris, insects, or plant matter, and you've removed the largest contaminants before boiling or chemical treatment. In post-collapse or outdoor survival settings, that small filtration step can save your life. Finally, storage and transport. Pillowcases are soft, quiet, and easy to tie off, making them perfect for moving supplies, hiding valuables, or even creating improvised caches. During power outages or natural disasters, families have used pillowcases for insulation, makeshift masks, wrapping tools, and even protecting firearms or electronics. One pillowcase can serve 10 different purposes when chaos hits. The best part? They're easy to stockpile. 10 pillowcases take almost no space, and they can be vacuum sealed, stashed in closets, or tossed in a go bag without hassle. Yet when supplies and convenience vanish, these simple cotton fabrics turn into multi-use survival tools, quietly outperforming more obvious prepping items. 4. Baking soda, the unsung all-purpose survival tool. It's cheap, it's common, and most people ignore it. But baking soda is one of the most underrated survival tools hiding in your kitchen. In a collapse scenario where access to toothpaste, cleaners, medicines, and deodorants disappears overnight, this simple white powder suddenly becomes priceless. Let's start with hygiene. Toothpaste gone? Baking soda steps in. Just mix it with a little water, and you've got a natural abrasive paste that neutralizes odors, removes plaque, and keeps your teeth clean when store-bought products vanish. Need deodorant? Baking soda stops bacteria and odor naturally. No sprays, no chemicals, and no dependence on store shelves. In a world without convenience, it keeps you healthy and socially functional, something that becomes critical fast. Baking soda also shines in first aid. Mild burns, bug bites, and stings can all be treated with a simple damp paste. It calms itching, reduces swelling, and can even be ingested as a natural antacid if over-the-counter medicines aren't available. Its versatility in emergency care alone makes it far more valuable than many flashier prepper items. In the home, it doubles as a cleaning powerhouse. Dirty counters, greasy pans, and stinky refrigerators are no match. Combine it with vinegar, and you've got a foaming, non-toxic scrub that disinfects and deodorizes. When the power is out and imported cleaning products are gone, maintaining hygiene with minimal resources becomes a survival skill, and baking soda is one of the few tools that does it all. Even in cooking, it has value. Soften dried beans, neutralize odors in storage containers, and extend the shelf life of certain foods. Lightweight and easy to stockpile, a single box can cover multiple functions for weeks, making it a multi-purpose survival commodity. History proves it too. During shortages and panic buying events, baking soda vanished from store shelves faster than most would expect. The next time imports are delayed or chemical suppliers face restrictions, it won't be the trendy survival gear that disappears first. It'll be simple, cheap, multi-purpose staples like this. Stock a few extra boxes now because when society collapses, clean teeth, safe food, and treated minor injuries could depend entirely on this unassuming powder. 5. Furniture edge protectors. Small shields, big impact. Plastic furniture edge protectors are usually seen as baby-proofing tools. Most people buy them to keep toddlers from banging their heads. But in a crisis, when medical care is limited and lights are scarce, these small strips of plastic transform into essential safety gear. Picture this. The power goes out. Your home is dimly lit by flashlights or candles, and you're navigating cluttered spaces with your hands full of water, food, or supplies. Sharp table corners, metal benches, and kitchen counters suddenly become dangerous hazards. One slip can lead to a serious cut or bruise, and with hospitals overwhelmed or far away, even minor injuries can spiral into serious complications. Plastic edge guards blunt those corners, absorb impact, and prevent injuries that could immobilize you when every hand counts. Their utility isn't limited to adult protection either. When children are present, they keep the whole household safe. But they're just as useful in makeshift shelters, temporary workstations, or bug-out locations where furniture edges aren't designed for survival. Lightweight and cheap, dozens can be stored in a small drawer. They're reusable, easy to install with adhesive strips, zip ties, or even duct tape, making them perfect for mobile setups or shifting environments. Historically, disasters like hurricanes and blackouts increase household accidents. Hospitals see spikes in minor injuries that could have been prevented with simple precautions. Preventing wounds before they happen is far more valuable than treating them after the fact. That's why preppers who focus only on food, water, or weapons often miss one of the quietest forms of protection: injury prevention. In a collapse, safety becomes currency. The fewer accidents you suffer, the more operational you remain. Plastic furniture edge protectors are cheap, simple, and often overlooked, but when the lights go out, they could literally save your skin. Prevention is survival, and these small strips of plastic provide it in the most practical way possible. 6. Miniature zip straps, the tiny fixers that save everything. Small zip straps, sometimes called cable ties, might look like nothing more than a hardware drawer afterthought. Most people use them to bundle cords or fix a loose car bumper. But in a long-term crisis, these tiny plastic strips are survival gold. Their value isn't obvious until everything else fails. The key advantage? Speed. In emergencies, seconds count. Need to secure a tarp over a broken window? Done in under 3 seconds. A backpack strap snaps while you're moving supplies? Click, pull, secure. Loose food bags? Locked down tighter than any clip. Zip straps are fast, no knots, no tools, no hassle. Their strength and simplicity make them perfect for dozens of situations, from making a quick splint with 2 sticks to fastening a broken gate or securing gear for a night trek. Durability sets them apart. Unlike metal clips that rust or bungee cords that lose elasticity, zip straps are weatherproof, rust-resistant, and reliable indoors or outdoors. You can store them in your vehicle, bug-out bag, jacket pocket, or toolbox, and they'll still function when you need them most. But the real game changer is variety and bulk. 1 or 2 straps are useful, but a stockpile of dozens or hundreds multiplies their effectiveness. Every strap is a potential solution to a broken system. A leaking container, a snapped pole, a makeshift fence, a secure bundle of firewood. And in survival situations, versatility is priceless. Zip straps also offer stealth benefits. Need to secure items quietly? Unlike metal clips, chains, or noisy hardware, zip straps lock silently. That makes them ideal for tactical scenarios where noise draws attention. History proves their practicality. During Hurricane Katrina, survivors used zip straps for everything from holding broken cabinets together and rigging drying lines to improvising water collection systems. They're not theoretical. They work in real-world disasters. In short, small zip straps punch far above their weight. They fix, fasten, and adapt. When power is out, tools are limited, and the hardware store is gone, these little strips of plastic can keep your entire operation functional. Stock up on a variety of sizes. They're compact, lightweight, and capable of hundreds of life-saving fixes. 7. Flexible silicone mats, the survival kitchen essential. Silicone baking mats are usually dismissed as a convenience item for cookie sheets. But in a crisis, these thin, flexible mats are one of the smartest survival purchases you can make. Durable, reusable, and versatile, they quietly outperform dozens of disposable alternatives. Durability is the first advantage. Unlike parchment paper that tears and aluminum foil that burns or crumples, silicone mats can handle repeated high heat, often rated to 450 degrees Celsius or more. That means you can use them in ovens, solar cookers, or even on improvised stoves without worrying they'll fall apart. A single mat can outlast hundreds of disposable sheets, saving both money and precious resources. Non-stick surfaces make cleanup minimal, a critical benefit when water is limited. Prepare bread, tortillas, jerky, dried fruits, or even roll dough directly on the mat. Wipe it clean and it's ready for the next batch. No soaking, scrubbing, or wasted water. In survival scenarios, saving time and conserving resources is just as important as having the raw ingredients. The versatility goes further. Silicone mats are lightweight, waterproof, and flexible, allowing them to double as liners, temporary cutting boards, funnels, or protective surfaces. They can cover dehydrator trays, catch drips under emergency water filters, or even protect delicate electronics. They bend, fold, and adapt, qualities that turn a simple kitchen accessory into a multi-purpose survival tool. Supply chain disruptions prove their value. During recent shortages, parchment paper and aluminum foil skyrocketed in price and often sold out. Silicone mats, however, remained available, but those who recognized their long-term utility snapped them up fast. In an emergency, disposable alternatives vanish immediately. The mats that last are the ones that keep functioning under stress. Smart preppers understood this early. Stocking silicone mats isn't about baking cookies. It's about having a durable, flexible, reusable tool that helps you cook, clean, protect, and organize when nothing else works. A few mats in your prep kit today could save countless hours, conserve resources, and even prevent unnecessary waste in tomorrow's crisis. 8. Heavy-duty duct tape, the fix-it that can't be replaced. Duct tape has been called the Swiss Army knife of adhesives, and for good reason. At first glance, it looks like a roll of sticky tape you might use for a leaky pipe or a broken box. But in a survival situation, duct tape becomes a multi-tool, a first aid item, and even a security tool. Its true value only appears when nothing else is available. First, consider its role in repairs. In a world where stores are empty and supply chains collapse, everything from clothing to gear, backpacks, and tents can fail at the worst possible moment. Torn tarps? Patch them with duct tape. Broken straps or seams on backpacks? Duct tape. Leaking containers or buckets? Seal them instantly. There's virtually no household or survival repair it can't touch. Its combination of stickiness, flexibility, and tensile strength makes it ideal for emergency fixes that would otherwise require specialized tools. Then there's its medical applications. In a pinch, duct tape can secure splints, hold bandages in place, or even create improvised shoes when the soles of your boots wear down. It can temporarily close wounds until proper medical treatment is available, or patch blisters and prevent further injury while you're mobile. In disaster zones, duct tape is often the unsung hero that keeps people moving when first aid kits are depleted. Security and organization also make duct tape invaluable. Need to secure a loose gate, keep supplies together, or reinforce fragile containers? One roll can solve all of that. It's lightweight, easy to store, and packs more utility per ounce than almost any other prepper item. Finally, duct tape is surprisingly scarce in emergencies. It's cheap and widely available in normal times, so most people ignore it in their prepping. But during hurricanes, snowstorms, and other disasters, people realize too late that a roll of duct tape is worth more than gold for keeping a shelter intact, fixing a vehicle, or holding survival gear together. Stock up now, because one day, when nothing else works, duct tape will be the first thing that saves your day. 9. LED headlamps, hands-free power in the dark. You can stock every type of food, water, and hygiene item imaginable, but without light, survival becomes exponentially harder. LED headlamps aren't just another flashlight, they're a game changer when society goes dark. They keep your hands free, let you work efficiently, and reduce the risk of injury when visibility is low. Think about it. In a grid-down situation, overhead lighting disappears. Candles and lanterns are limited, inefficient, and potentially hazardous. Holding a flashlight in one hand while carrying supplies in the other is inefficient and dangerous. A headlamp frees both hands to cook, build, repair, or defend yourself if necessary. Simple, but critical. LED headlamps also shine for efficiency and longevity. Modern headlamps use energy-saving LED bulbs that can last hundreds of hours on a single set of batteries. Some are rechargeable via USB or solar setups, making them sustainable when electricity is scarce. Brightness levels can often be adjusted to save power or extend battery life, and many models include red light options for night vision or low-profile use in tactical situations. Durability matters too. In survival conditions, drops, water exposure, and dust are inevitable. Quality LED headlamps are built tough. They can survive a fall or a sudden rainstorm and continue to function when other lights fail. Their lightweight design makes them easy to store in bug-out bags, vehicle emergency kits, or even your pockets without taking up space. Historical events prove their value. During hurricanes, blackouts, and even winter storms, people with headlamps can navigate debris, administer first aid, and complete survival tasks without relying on handheld flashlights. Those without headlamps often struggle, waste energy, or put themselves in danger by fumbling in the dark. When supply chains collapse or panic buying hits, headlamps vanish fast. Unlike disposable flashlights, which rely on replaceable batteries, LED headlamps last longer, making them the go-to tool for serious preppers. If there's one piece of lighting equipment that's worth hoarding, it's this: compact, efficient, and hands-free power in the dark. 10. Heavy canvas tarps, shelter and survival in one. When disaster strikes, the first priorities are always water, food, and shelter. A heavy canvas tarp is one of the most underrated survival items that covers the third priority, shelter. Lightweight tents can rip, and indoor spaces may be unsafe, but a canvas tarp is versatile, durable, and easy to deploy in any scenario. Canvas tarps are strong enough to protect against rain, wind, and even moderate snow. Unlike plastic sheets that tear or blow away, canvas can withstand repeated use, creating a reliable cover for people, supplies, or equipment. Hang it between trees, secure it over a damaged roof, or use it to shield your vehicles and tools from the elements. Its multi-purpose design makes it indispensable for temporary shelters, storage, and even ground cover. The portability and flexibility of canvas tarps are also crucial. They're relatively lightweight compared to plywood, metal sheets, or tents, and can be folded, rolled, or tied down in minutes. With rope, bungee cords, or even zip ties, you can construct shelters, sunshades, privacy screens, or windbreaks. One tarp can serve dozens of survival functions, far beyond what a conventional tent provides. Tarps also have food storage benefits. Covering firewood, crops, or forage supplies with a tarp keeps them dry, prevents rot, and protects against scavengers. It can even serve as a makeshift water collection surface in emergencies, channeling rainwater into containers for drinking or sanitation. The same tarp can double as a stretcher, carry bag, or windscreen for cooking fires. In real-life crises, tarps become invaluable. During hurricanes, floods, and wildfires, families and first responders rely on them for temporary housing, sheltering equipment, and emergency repairs. And unlike specialized survival tents, canvas tarps rarely sell out immediately, but when the next disaster hits, every local hardware store quickly empties its stock. If you're serious about prepping, a few heavy-duty canvas tarps are non-negotiable. They're cheap, versatile, and durable. Whether for shelter, storage, or improvised survival projects, one tarp can make the difference between a long, wet, miserable disaster and a safe, organized, and manageable situation. 11. Aluminum foil, the lightweight survival multi-tool. At first glance, aluminum foil is just something you wrap leftovers in. But in a long-term disaster scenario, it becomes a highly versatile survival tool that's lightweight, compact, and capable of solving dozens of everyday problems. Many preppers overlook its utility until it's too late. Start with cooking. Foil can serve as an impromptu tray or pan when pots and pans are unavailable. It's ideal for wrapping meat, vegetables, or grains for direct cooking over coals, campfires, or makeshift stoves. Need to bake, steam, or even slow cook? Aluminum foil adapts. It's heat-resistant, cheap, and disposable or reusable if handled carefully. Next, consider water and sanitation. Aluminum foil can be used to collect water from condensation, create temporary funnels, or even cover containers to protect liquids from contamination. It can serve as an improvised plate, cup, or even a small water boiling tray. In scenarios where traditional cookware is limited, a roll of foil can substitute for multiple utensils and dishes, cutting down on cleaning and resource use. Aluminum foil is also invaluable for shelter and protection. Reflective foil can signal for help, line improvised shelters to retain heat, or act as a sun shield. It can even be molded to patch holes in metal or plastic containers temporarily, helping to secure vital supplies or repair equipment. Its malleability and durability make it a stealthy fix-it tool that weighs almost nothing. During past disasters and supply chain disruptions, aluminum foil often disappears from store shelves quickly. People underestimate its versatility until they need it for more than kitchen tasks, when suddenly, one roll can solve multiple problems at once. The lightweight, compact nature of foil makes it perfect for bug-out bags, survival kits, and emergency storage without taking up much space. Stocking up on foil isn't about convenience, it's about preparing for real-world scenarios where improvisation becomes survival. With its multi-use potential, aluminum foil goes far beyond wrapping sandwiches. It's a heat reflector, cooking surface, water collection tool, and emergency repair material all rolled into one. 12. Heavy-duty rope, the lifeline when everything falls apart. Rope is one of the oldest and most trusted survival tools, and yet it remains undervalued in modern prepping. A strong, durable rope can solve a myriad of problems in a disaster scenario, from shelter construction to emergency rescues. When society collapses, the ability to tie, pull, lift, or secure can literally save your life. Shelter is the first application. Tarps, canvas, and makeshift shelters require reliable rope to hold them in place during storms, high winds, or structural instability. Not a rope between trees to hang a tarp, secure a canopy, or create a windbreak. A quality rope provides tension and strength that improvising with string, wires, or cords cannot match. It's the backbone of temporary or emergency housing. Rope also shines in transport and lifting. Need to move heavy water containers, stacked supplies, or firewood? A strong rope makes it manageable. It allows you to bundle items, lift them safely, and secure them to vehicles, backpacks, or carts. Without rope, moving essential resources in a crisis becomes exponentially harder, forcing multiple trips and wasting energy. Emergency and first aid applications further amplify its value. Rope can be used to create splints, immobilize limbs, rig pulley systems, or even assist in rescue operations. During floods, fires, or structural collapses, a rope may be the difference between escaping danger or being trapped. Preppers know that versatility under pressure is more valuable than any single specialized tool. Rope is also critical for long-term survival. It's used in crafting snares, fishing nets, and traps, in securing livestock, or even in building long-term storage solutions. Its durability and multiple uses make it a force multiplier for anyone looking to extend their survival capabilities. Supply chain issues make rope even more valuable. High-quality nylon or hemp rope isn't always stocked in bulk at local stores, and during crises, it disappears fast. Stocking lengths of heavy-duty rope now ensures you have a tool that can perform dozens of life-saving tasks tomorrow. 13. Multi-purpose work gloves, protecting your hands, preserving your life. The final underrated survival item on this list is something you probably already own but rarely think of in a crisis: a sturdy pair of work gloves. When society collapses, hands are constantly exposed to injury, infection, and environmental hazards. Multi-purpose gloves protect your most critical tools, your hands. Gloves serve as both a defense and an enabler. Handling debris, broken wood, sharp metal, or rough surfaces becomes safer, reducing the risk of cuts, scrapes, or puncture wounds. Injuries that might be minor today could become life-threatening tomorrow if untreated, especially when medical care is limited. Gloves prevent those injuries before they happen. Their utility extends to construction and repair. Carrying firewood, repairing vehicles, or building shelters requires grip and protection. Gloves let you handle materials that would otherwise tear or blister your hands, allowing you to work longer, safer, and more effectively. They're a productivity tool in a survival scenario. Without them, you burn out faster and risk permanent injury. Gloves also protect against environmental hazards. Exposure to chemicals, dirt, rain, and cold temperatures can damage skin and lead to infection or frostbite. Quality gloves act as a barrier, keeping you functional in harsh conditions. In scenarios where warmth and hygiene are limited, gloves help maintain health and mobility. Finally, gloves have multiple secondary uses. They can be used to handle hot items, carry sharp or thorny plants, or even create makeshift padding or straps when other materials are unavailable. One pair of gloves can solve dozens of survival problems with minimal weight and space, making them a high-utility, low-cost investment. When crises strike, items like food, water, and medical supplies get all the attention. But the tools that protect your body and preserve your ability to work are just as critical. A solid pair of work gloves is a small purchase that pays dividends in safety, efficiency, and long-term survivability.